here we go. Right then, one to look out for. If you've got the Ford Transit Custom, this could cause you a lot of trouble. There's a problem with the front turbo pipe.
Now this is a 66 plate, and if we get underneath here in the mucky bits and have a good look, we can see tucked away right down there. Oh, there it is.
It comes from the intercooler and it comes round at the front of the engine. And what it's doing, there's a little bolt head and it's chafing on that bolt head, causing it to rub through, and then you'll lose your power. You get the whooshing sound, you get loss of power, and the turbo pipe will eventually split completely open.
So you can just see there near the alternator, just at the back, there's the mounting bolt just poking out, and you can see the oil residue that's kind of on the hose. If you follow that back up, if I can keep the camera still, it's really tight to get the camera in. There you go, look. If I just push my hand there, you'll see that pipe, and it's got a hole where it's rubbed through on that mounting bolt, look. Yeah, there it is.
So what I would do if it was me, I would preempt this repair. I'd get in there and I would put a Jubilee clip around that hose, just where it's going to rub. Dead easy to get in at. You can get up there, put the Jubilee clip round it, and then it'll just rub on the back of that metal Jubilee clip, and it won't rub through the plastic, and it'll save it completely. Save you losing a day's work, saves you breaking down, and saves you having a load of trouble. So definitely one to do. Now then, this vehicle I'm going to repair, I shall show you how to take the pipe off, how to replace it if you've got a new pipe, or how to repair the old one just to get you by until you can get a new hose on there.
Here we go. So we've got a Jubilee clip on the intercooler, and there's obviously a Jubilee clip at the top, which if I come from the top here, I can get my ratchet down there. It's a bit tight. You can get in there with just a normal little quarter drive ratchet, 7mm socket, and yeah, it's really tight, it's awkward, but you can just about get on it and get it off. Here we go. This is the bottom again. This is the intercooler. So again, we just whiz that Jubilee clip off. You've only got to loosen it off and then just grab hold of that hose. Now these are tight, they stick because they're you know, they've been compressed on there for a while, but if you really get hold of it, you'll sometimes hear it. There you go, it's just cracked as it's just broken away there, and then we just give it a really good wiggly do, off it comes. And then we've got to feed that down. Again, it's a little bit tight and tricky. I'm trying to hold the camera in one hand while I'm doing it with the other. It's not the best, but if I can show you as best I can. And again, say just wiggle it, pull it, and out it comes. Look, beautiful. There it is. And there's where it's rubbed through. Look, just see where it's been rubbing on that bolt and been wearing it over time.
Maybe it's too late. The first thing you'll know about this, you'll get a lack of power, you'll have the engine management warning light coming on, and you'll hear a whooshing sound on acceleration, really blowing well. Sometimes they go with a little pop when it first happens. You'll get a little pop.
So here we go. Let's see what we can do with this pipe. We're gonna repair this. And what I'm going to use is a bit of carb cleaner first, a bit of carburetor cleaner, just to get the oil off this. We need to make this as clean as possible, and the carb cleaner is a great product just for getting that oil off there. I'll drop some links in for all of these bits and bobs into the description at the end, in case you're wanting any. So we'll give that a clean like that, like I say, which just gets that oil off there. And then we've got this stuff. This is Repair Wrap Fibre Fix. Mega stuff. It's really, really good. It's like a poly resin wrap where you just wet it, and then it will wrap, and it sets rock hard. It's brilliant stuff. It's quite peculiar. You just literally tip a bit of water in, and you just soak in this stuff in the water. It says for 5 seconds, but it don't really matter. You chuck it in there 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds. Doesn't make a lot of difference. But you just got to get some water in there. The water gets in between all the little pores of the material, and then you literally just wrap it round whatever you want to fix. It works brilliant on these turbo hoses. So here we go. You just pull it up tight and slowly work your way around. I'm starting right over the hole, and we just peel it back and just keep going round and round and round. Once you get overlapping, once it overlaps itself, it starts to bond to itself really well. And it gets hot. It warms up in your hands as it's going on. You can feel it actually curing as you're putting this stuff on. So yeah, just keep going round, nice and tight, and we're going to try and get it about 1 inch either side of where that hole was. So keep going round and round and round, overlapping every time we go round, just overlapping over the hole, building up a really nice structure around where it had popped through. So keep going round. You can see how nice that's going on. I mean, it's really taking to that nicely. And obviously, once you've put it back on the vehicle, this is going to be rock hard around that. It's going to make a nice solid frame around the outside of that turbo hose. And as you accelerate, that turbo pipe expands, which is going to make it even tighter inside that repair wrap. So it's going to make a really good bond. I just get a little bit more water and just work that round, just smooth that round with the water, just working that on, and you just feel it all amalgamating to itself. It goes on really, really well. And then you get this this covering wrap. This is just literally, it's not sticky or anything, but it just helps compress it to whatever you've wrapped it to. So we just put that round and just pull that on nice and tight. It's mainly just why it goes off. You get that on there, it just holds it all together, holds it all in place while this wrap goes off, and you know you've got it on really nice. Yeah, look at that, beautiful job. Just finish that off, get it round to the end, and then what I'm going to do once this is on, I'm going to put a Jubilee clip over the top of this as well and tighten it up down on it. And again, that's just offering extra support and extra, it's going to hold it all together really well. But you see, that looks quite nice, that's not a bad job. And here we go with the Jubilee clip. So I've just slackened that off a little bit, just so I can slip it over the top of that. And I'll get it right over where the hole is and where it's been rubbing on that bolt. And then obviously, this ain't never going to rub through again because it's got that Jubilee clip on it. So that bolt is just going to rub against that metal Jubilee clip and not give us any more problems. Now obviously, this could do with a brand new hose on there. But once that new hose is bought and fitted, I would keep this Jubilee clip in exactly that position because that's going to save it ever rubbing through again. So it's a real good modification that needs doing on all these hoses that they're all going to be rubbing on that bolt over time. Every time the engine moves forward and backwards when you pull away, it's just slowly rubbing away on that hose. So yeah, definitely worth putting a Jubilee clip round. Now what you can do with these Jubilee clips is completely undo them, so you don't have to disconnect the hose at all. So if you're fixing it to a vehicle that's not been that the hose hasn't actually split on, you could just unwind that Jubilee clip all the way, slip it over that hose in situ, and then do it back up again. And it'll save you any problems at all. Like I say, it'll save you a day's work off the road, you know. Can you imagine? Oh, the hassle and the problems it causes when you lose your van. And all for the sake of a little Jubilee clip around that hose. But yeah, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. And we'll get that back on again now. That ain't going nowhere. So from underneath, we'll poke it back up. We'll get under there and just wiggle it round, get it into position. This fibre fix, it goes off within about 10 minutes. So that hose now is absolutely rock solid where that fibre fix is. Not going to cause us any problems at all. We'll slip that back over the intercooler and then get ourselves back up top and slide it back on the top one. Then we can just do these Jubilee clips back up. Just whiz that up. I do like my little Milwaukee electric ratchet. It's fantastic. What a bit of kit. Saves so much hassle. Oh, don't drop your socket. There we go. Lucky I didn't lose that one. Could have done. And then from the top, looking down. I'm sorry about these camera angles, but it was really tricky trying to actually film anything. You can see it in the top right hand corner there, as I'm just doing that Jubilee clip up on that on the top of that hose. And just finish off there. That's a better shot for you. There we go. Beautiful. That's nice and tight. That ain't going nowhere. There we go. and you can see it nicely fitted, all back on again.
Once it's been replaced, you'll need to plug the code reader in and erase the engine management faults, and then everything will be absolutely fine. If that's been of any use to you, drop me a little thumbs up, like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.